stop. Before you turn off that light tonight, you need to hear this. Because what you do in the last 60 minutes before bed, after the age of 50, is either quietly healing your body or slowly destroying it. And most people have no idea. They think they're winding down, relaxing, being normal. But doctors are now calling this the silent damage window. The 1 hour before sleep where your aging body is the most vulnerable it will ever be in a 24-hour cycle. I'm Dr. James Mercer, a sleep and metabolic health physician with over 22 years of clinical experience. And in that time, I have sat across from thousands of patients, men and women over 50, who came to me exhausted, inflamed, and confused. They were sleeping 7, 8 hours a night and still waking up feeling like they hadn't slept at all. They had brain fog, aching joints, belly fat that wouldn't move no matter what they tried, blood sugar swings, mood crashes, and a creeping anxiety they couldn't explain. And every single time, Pummit, when we dug deeper, the answer wasn't a disease, it was a habit, a bedtime habit they thought was harmless. That's what tonight is about. 7 things. 7 completely common, completely normal-looking behaviors that are wrecking your sleep, accelerating your aging, and putting serious strain on your heart, your brain, and your metabolism, specifically after 50. Now, I want you to pay very close attention as we go through this list, because number one is going to shock you. It's something that over 70% of adults over 50 do every single night. It's been marketed to you as healthy. Doctors have recommended it. And yet, new research from Harvard Medical School now links it directly to nighttime cortisol spikes, broken deep sleep cycles, and accelerated cellular aging. You're probably doing it right now, but we'll get there. First, let's start with number 7, because by the time we reach number 1, you're going to want to completely rethink your entire evening routine. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 7, eating within 3 hours of bedtime. It sounds harmless, a small snack, a little something to take the edge off. Maybe some crackers, a bowl of cereal, leftover dinner at 9 p.m. You've done it 100 times. But here's what's actually happening inside your body when you do that after 50. When you eat close to bedtime, your pancreas releases insulin to manage the incoming sugar. That's normal. But after 50, your insulin sensitivity drops significantly. Your body can no longer process that late-night glucose efficiently, so instead of burning it, your body stores it as fat while you sleep. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is what it does to your growth hormone. Between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body is supposed to release its largest pulse of human growth hormone, the chemical responsible for repairing muscle, burning fat, strengthening bones, and literally slowing down how fast you age. But elevated insulin, caused by that late-night snack, blocks that release entirely. You don't get it. It doesn't come back. That window closes. I had a patient named Robert, 57 years old, construction foreman, solid guy. He came to me frustrated. He'd gained 22 pounds in 2 years without changing anything. We tracked his habits for 2 weeks. The culprit? A bowl of granola every night at 9:30. We moved his last meal to 6:30 p.m. Nothing else changed. In 6 weeks, he lost 11 pounds. His energy in the morning doubled. His joint pain dropped by half. One change. Massive result. The fix. Close your eating window at least 3 hours before sleep. If hunger strikes, drink a glass of cold water with a pinch of sea salt. It quiets hunger signals without triggering insulin. Simple, powerful. Start tonight. Number 6, sleeping in a warm room. Most people over 50 love warmth. A heated bedroom feels cozy, safe, comfortable, but your biology disagrees. Strongly, here's the science. To enter deep restorative sleep, specifically slow-wave sleep, the stage where your brain clears toxic waste and your body repairs damaged tissue, your core body temperature must drop by 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not optional, it's physiological law, and after 50, your body's ability to self-regulate temperature during sleep weakens. Your thermoregulation system slows down, so if your room is warm, your body struggles to make that drop happen. The result? You spend less time in deep sleep. more time in light, fragmented sleep. You wake up at 2 a.m. for no reason. You toss and turn. You feel groggy even after a full night. A 2019 study published in the journal Sleep found that people sleeping in rooms above 70 degrees experienced 34% less slow-wave sleep compared to those in cooler environments. That's a third of your deep sleep gone, just because your thermostat was too high. Margaret, a 63-year-old retired teacher, told me she hadn't slept through the night in 4 years. She'd tried melatonin, sleep masks, white noise machines. Nothing worked. Her room temperature was 74 degrees. We dropped it to 66. Within 3 nights, she slept 6 uninterrupted hours for the first time in years. She cried in my office when she told me. The fix. Set your bedroom between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit before bed. If you have a partner who runs cold, use separate blankets. A cool room is not a luxury. After 50, it is a medical necessity. Now we've covered numbers 7 and 6, and already you can see a pattern forming. These aren't dramatic. They're not obvious. They're the quiet habits. The ones hiding in plain sight that are stealing your recovery every single night. But what's coming next? Numbers 5 and 4 are where things start getting more serious. Number 4 in particular involves something over 80% of Americans do every night. And it directly triggers an inflammatory response in the brain that has now been linked to early cognitive decline. You'll want to see this. Number 5, scrolling your phone in bed. You already know this one is bad for you. You've heard it before. Put the phone down. Limit screen time. Blue light is bad. But I want you to understand exactly what is happening inside your brain. Because once you see it at this level, you will never look at your phone the same way again. Here's what happens the moment you start scrolling in bed after 50. Your eyes detect the blue light wavelength emitted from that screen. That signal travels directly to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock inside your brain, and it sends one clear message. It's daytime. Stay awake. Your brain immediately suppresses melatonin production. Not reduces it, suppresses it. Studies from Harvard's Division of Sleep Medicine show that just 2 hours of evening screen exposure can delay melatonin release by up to 90 minutes and reduce overall melatonin levels by nearly 50%. After 50, your body already produces significantly less melatonin than it did at 30. Your pineal gland has naturally slowed down. You are already working with a deficit. And then you hand your brain a phone. But the blue light is only half the problem. The other half is dopamine. Every scroll, every like, every notification, every surprising image or headline triggers a small dopamine hit in your brain's reward center. Your nervous system interprets this as stimulation, as excitement, as mild stress, and a mildly stressed brain does not sleep deeply. It stays on alert. It processes. It churns. You fall asleep, but you never fully go under. A 2021 study in the journal JAMA Pediatrics, later replicated in adults over 50, found that evening phone use was directly correlated with increased nighttime cortisol, reduced REM sleep, and next-day increases in anxiety and brain fog. David, a 54-year-old accountant, came to me convinced he had early dementia. He was forgetting names, losing focus mid-sentence, feeling mentally slower than he'd ever been in his life. He was scrolling LinkedIn and news apps until midnight every night. We implemented a hard phone cutoff at 9 p.m. No negotiations. Within 2 weeks, his mental clarity returned. Within a month, he told me he felt 10 years younger in his head. The same brain, just protected sleep. The fix: charge your phone outside the bedroom. Not on silent, not face down. Outside the room. Replace scrolling with 10 minutes of light reading under warm, dim light. Your brain will thank you in ways you'll feel by morning. Number 4. Taking ibuprofen or pain relievers at night. This one stops people cold when I tell them, because it feels responsible, mature, practical. Your knee aches, your back is tight. You take an ibuprofen so you can sleep comfortably. What's the harm in that? The harm is significant, and it's been systematically ignored. Here's what NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and naproxen, do to your body when taken at night after 50. First, they interfere with prostaglandin production. Prostaglandins aren't just inflammation signals. They are also deeply involved in regulating your sleep-wake cycle. When you suppress them chemically at night, you disrupt the very biological architecture of your sleep stages. A landmark study from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that regular nighttime NSAID use reduced slow-wave sleep by up to 36% in adults over 50, even when subjects reported feeling like they slept well. This is called subjective sleep deception. Your brain thinks you slept. Your body didn't recover. But here's where it gets genuinely alarming. Ibuprofen taken consistently at night has been shown to raise nighttime blood pressure in older adults, particularly during the hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when blood pressure is supposed to naturally dip. Cardiologists call this the non-dipper pattern, and it is now recognized as one of the strongest independent predictors of heart attack and stroke risk in people over 50. You're not sleeping better. You're quietly stressing your heart while you dream. Patricia was 61, a retired nurse, someone who knew medicine. She'd been taking 2 ibuprofen every night for her hip discomfort for 3 years. Thought nothing of it. Her nighttime blood pressure readings? Dangerously elevated every single night. When we replaced her nighttime ibuprofen with a magnesium glycinate supplement, a warm Epsom salt soak, and a targeted stretching routine, her blood pressure normalized within 6 weeks. Her pain was managed, her heart was protected. The fix: talk to your doctor before stopping any medication. But if you're using OTC pain relievers casually at night, explore magnesium glycinate, tart cherry juice, or a 10-minute warm bath as natural alternatives. They work. And they don't cost you your deep sleep or your heart health. We are halfway through this list, and I need you to notice something. Every single item so far has one thing in common. They all look harmless. They feel normal. Society has normalized them completely. That is exactly what makes them dangerous, because you don't fear what you don't see coming. And what's coming next? Numbers 3, 2, and the shocking number 1 are the most serious of all. Number 3 involves something millions of people over 50 use every single night to help them sleep. And new science reveals it is actually destroying the one sleep stage your brain absolutely cannot survive without. This is where the list changes everything. Number 3, drinking alcohol to wind down. 2, let's talk about the most socially accepted sleep destroyer in the world. A glass of wine, a cold beer, a small whiskey to take the edge off. You've heard people call it a nightcap for generations. It's romantic, it's cultural, it's practically a ritual, and it is quietly dismantling your brain. Here's what alcohol actually does to your sleeping body after 50. Yes, alcohol helps you fall asleep faster. That part is real. It sedates your central nervous system and reduces the time it takes to drift off. But falling asleep and sleeping are not the same thing. In the first half of the night, alcohol suppresses REM sleep, the stage where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and repairs neural connections. As the alcohol metabolizes in the second half of the night, it causes what scientists call rebound arousal. Your nervous system snaps back, your sleep fragments, and your brain is flooded with stress hormones between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. You wake up, or you don't. But you surface into such light sleep that you get no recovery at all. After 50, this effect is dramatically amplified. Your liver processes alcohol more slowly as you age, your body takes longer to clear it. So that single glass of wine at 9 p.m., it is still metabolizing in your bloodstream at 1 a.m., right when your brain is supposed to be entering its deepest, most restorative sleep cycle. A major study from the Sleep Research Society analyzing over 11,000 adults found that even moderate alcohol consumption, 1 to 2 drinks, reduced sleep quality by 24% in adults over 50. Deep sleep dropped. REM sleep collapsed. Morning cortisol levels spiked. And here's the part nobody talks about. Chronic evening alcohol use, even at low levels, has been directly linked to accelerated hippocampal shrinkage in adults over 50. The hippocampus is your brain's memory and learning center. You are not relaxing your brain, you are shrinking it. One nightcap at a time. Thomas was 58. Sharp guy, successful attorney. He came to me with what he called early senior moments, forgetting names, losing his train of thought mid-argument in court, struggling to recall details he once held effortlessly. He had 2 glasses of red wine every night, had done so for 11 years, thought it was heart healthy. We eliminated the evening alcohol completely, replaced it with a tart cherry and magnesium mocktail. In 90 days, he told me the fog had lifted. His recall was sharper than it had been in a decade. The fix: eliminate alcohol within 4 hours of bedtime. If you drink socially, keep it to early evening. Replace the wind-down ritual with chamomile tea, tart cherry juice, or warm water with magnesium. The ritual matters. Just make it one that heals you. Number 2. Sleeping with the TV on. Millions of people over 50 fall asleep to the television every single night. The familiar voices, the background noise, the blue glow flickering across the ceiling. It feels like company, like comfort, like safety. Your brain experiences it as a sustained emergency. Here is the neuroscience. Even when you are fully asleep, your auditory cortex remains active. Your brain continues to process sound. It was designed this way for survival, to detect threats in the night while your body rested. Television doesn't register as background noise to your sleeping brain. It registers as unpredictable stimulation. The volume shifts. Voices rise and fall. Dramatic music surges. Advertisements blast louder than the programming. Each shift triggers a micro-arousal in your nervous system, a tiny jolt that pulls you out of deep sleep and back toward the surface. You don't remember these awakenings, they last only seconds. But over the course of a night, you can experience dozens of them. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that sleeping with the television on reduced time spent in slow-wave deep sleep by up to 40% in adults over 55. Participants reported feeling rested, but objective sleep measurements told a completely different story. Subjective sleep deception, again, and then there's the light. That flickering television screen emits the same blue light spectrum as your phone. Your melatonin suppression doesn't stop just because your eyes are closed. Light penetrates your eyelids. It reaches your retinal cells. The signal still reaches your brain's master clock. Your body never fully transitions into true darkness. And true darkness, after 50, is not optional. It is the biological trigger your endocrine system needs to begin its nightly repair sequence. Carol was 66, widowed 3 years earlier. She'd started falling asleep to the TV for company, and hadn't stopped. She came to me exhausted, emotionally fragile, and convinced something was medically wrong. Her sleep study showed she was waking, partially, up to 47 times per night. We removed the television from her bedroom, added a white noise machine and a small dim nightlight for comfort. Within 1 week, her nighttime arousals dropped to under 8. She called my office crying. Happy tears this time. The fix: remove the television from the bedroom entirely if you can. If that feels like too much, use a sleep timer set to shut off within 20 minutes of lying down. Replace it with a white noise machine or a nature sound app. Your brain needs silence and darkness to heal. Give it both. And now, we have arrived. Number 1, I told you at the beginning that this would shock you. That it was something over 70% of adults over 50 do every single night. That it has been marketed as healthy. That doctors have recommended it. And that new research from Harvard now links it directly to nighttime cortisol spikes, broken deep sleep, and accelerated cellular aging. Are you ready? Number 1, taking melatonin supplements. I can hear the objections already, but Dr. Mercer, melatonin helps me sleep. I've been taking it for years. My own doctor suggested it. I understand. And I am not here to dismiss your experience. I am here to show you what the research that supplement companies do not want you reading, actually reveals. Here is the truth about melatonin that changes everything. Melatonin is not a sleeping pill. It is a timing hormone. Its job is to signal to your brain that darkness has arrived, to set the biological clock, not to generate sleep directly. The distinction is critical. When you take a standard over-the-counter melatonin supplement, most of which contain between 5 and 10 milligrams, you are flooding your body with 10 to 50 times the amount of melatonin your brain would naturally produce. That is not supplementation. That is a hormonal overdose, and your body responds the way it responds to any hormone overdose. It downregulates its own production. The more synthetic melatonin you take, the less your pineal gland produces on its own. Over months and years of use, your brain's natural melatonin manufacturing system begins to atrophy, to go quiet, to depend entirely on the pill. After 50, your pineal gland is already producing less melatonin than it did at 30. You are already in decline, and every night you take a high-dose supplement, you are accelerating that decline further. But it gets worse. A landmark 2023 study from Harvard Medical School and the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center found that high-dose melatonin taken at night triggered measurable cortisol spikes in adults over 50 approximately 90 minutes after ingestion. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, the hormone that is supposed to be at its absolute lowest while you sleep, the very pill you are taking to sleep better, is triggering a stress response inside your body while you lie in the dark, wondering why you feel wired at 2 a.m. The researchers called it a paradoxical arousal response, and it was found in over 68% of the adult participants over the age of 50. And then there is the cellular aging component. Melatonin, at physiological levels produced naturally by your body, is one of the most potent antioxidants known to science. It protects your mitochondria. It neutralizes free radicals. It slows the aging of your cells at the deepest level. But when you flood your system with synthetic megadoses night after night, you desensitize your melatonin receptors. Those receptors stop responding, and when they stop responding, the protective anti-aging benefits disappear entirely. You are not sleeping better. You are not aging slower. You are paying for the privilege of making yourself worse. Gerald was 62, retired firefighter, strong, disciplined man. He'd been taking 10 milligrams melatonin every night for 4 years. He came to me barely functioning, exhausted beyond description, emotionally numb, with cortisol levels at 11 p.m. that looked like someone who'd just survived a car accident. We did a slow, supervised melatonin taper over 8 weeks, down to 0.3 millimolars, the dose closest to what the human body naturally produces. His sleep transformed. His cortisol normalized. His energy returned in waves he hadn't felt since his 40s. He told me, and I will never forget this, "I feel like I got my life back, and the whole time I thought I was doing everything right." That is exactly why this is number one. Not because it is the most dramatic habit on this list, but because it is the most trusted, the most invisible, the most defended, and the most quietly damaging. The fix. If you currently take melatonin, do not stop abruptly. Speak with your physician about a gradual taper. Work toward the lowest effective dose, ideally 0.3 to 0.5 millinolars, taken 90 minutes before your target sleep time. Focus instead on natural melatonin triggers. Complete darkness, cooler room temperature, no screens, and consistent sleep and wake times. Your brain knows how to produce this hormone. It just needs you to stop drowning it out. 7 habits. 7 silent saboteurs. And now, you know all of them. But knowing is only the beginning. Take a breath. Because what you just learned tonight, most people will never know. They'll go to bed tonight doing the same things they did last night, and the night before, and the night before that. Quietly wondering why they're tired, why their memory is slipping, why their body feels 10 years older than it should. But not you, not anymore. Let's bring it all together, because this is important. Number 7. You now know that eating within 3 hours of bedtime blocks your body's nightly growth hormone release. The very hormone responsible for fat burning, muscle repair, and slowing down your aging. Closed eating window, 3 hours minimum. 3. Non-negotiable after 50. Number 6. A warm bedroom is silently robbing you of the deep, slow-wave sleep your brain and body desperately need to rebuild overnight. 65 to 68 degrees. Cool room, deep sleep, every single night. Number 5. That phone in your hand is suppressing your already declining melatonin by nearly 50% and flooding your nervous system with dopamine at the exact moment your brain needs to power down. Phone out of the bedroom. Hard cutoff. No exceptions. Number 4. The ibuprofen you've been trusting to manage nighttime pain is quietly elevating your blood pressure during the hours when it should be at its lowest. And cardiologists are now calling that pattern one of the strongest predictors of heart attack and stroke in adults over 50. Natural alternatives: magnesium, warmth, stretching. Number 3. That nightly glass of wine is not relaxing you, it is sedating you. And there is a profound difference. Your REM sleep is collapsing. Your hippocampus is shrinking. Your brain fog has a name, and it comes in a bottle. 4-hour rule. Tart cherry mocktail. Protect your brain like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Number 2. The television flickering in your bedroom is triggering dozens of microarousals per night that your conscious mind never registers, but your body pays for every single morning. Silence. Darkness. A white noise machine if needed. Your nervous system needs permission to fully let go. And number 1, the melatonin supplement sitting on your nightstand that you believed was protecting you is suppressing your natural hormone production, triggering midnight cortisol spikes, and desensitizing the very receptors responsible for cellular repair and anti-aging. Taper slowly. Talk to your doctor. Work toward the lowest possible dose. And let your brain remember how to do what it was designed to do. Now, here is what I need you to truly hear before you close this video. None of this is your fault. You were never taught this. Nobody sat you down at 50 and explained that your body had changed, that the same habits that were fine at 35 were now working against you, that the products being sold to you as solutions were sometimes making things quietly worse. You were doing your best with the information you had, and now you have better information. That changes everything. Because the human body, even after 50, even after years of disrupted sleep, even after decades of habits that have silently accumulated, is astonishingly capable of recovery. The patients I told you about tonight: Robert, Margaret, David, Patricia, Thomas, Carol, Gerald. None of them were young. None of them made dramatic, sweeping life changes overnight. They changed one thing at a time, consistently, patiently, and every single one of them got measurable, life-changing results. Within days, within weeks, without surgery, without expensive treatments, without anything more complicated than what I've shared with you in the last few minutes. Your body wants to heal. It has always wanted to heal. It has just been waiting for you to stop getting in the way. And your single tap could be the reason they find this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, because every week we go this deep. Real science, real patience, real results. No fluff, no filler, no shortcuts. Just the truth your body has been waiting for you to hear. I'll see you in the next one. Sleep well tonight. You've earned it.